from a given disaster. Speed away from the holy mind. Pride, that's where I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good, you got me good.
Hey you guys, it is Crystal Lopez here from crystalandcup.com. I hope you are having an amazing day. I am doing a collab with Stephanie from 10 Kids in a Garage. We're doing some spring cleaning. She's spring cleaning at her house. I'm spring cleaning at my house. What I decided to video and share with you guys is spring cleaning some of my cabinets, like the cabinets that needed it the most. I didn't make it to any of the top cabinets. I just did, I think we did 6 of the lower cabinets. I still have 2 lower cabinets to go through, or 2 sets of lower cabinets, and then just a few upper cabinets, like my plates and my glasses and cups. That area stays really tidy because we're in it every day, loading and unloading the dishwasher from there, and so I feel like it constantly gets our attention, you know what I mean? But I'm going to show you in this video how I am not only deep cleaning and spring cleaning where my pots and pans are, my casserole dishes, some of my bakingware, some of my big appliances that are stored in my kitchen. Not only am I going to clean all of that and declutter it all, but I'm gonna purge. And do me a favor, when you're done, hop over and check out Stephanie's video. I'm gonna leave a link below so that it's super easy for you to get to, but hop over and take a look at her video because she is spring cleaning all kinds of stuff too, okay? Okay, I am going to give you some tips as we go along. So number 1, when you are going to purge or organize or declutter an area, the first thing you need to do is take everything out. I learned that years ago from my friend Kim. She and I have been friends for 25 years. We've raised our kids as friends. Like, she's an amazing human being. And she used to help me a lot with purging and organizing and whatnot. And that's one thing that she would always tell me: take everything, whatever it is. If you're doing a cabinet, if you're doing a room, whatever you're doing, take everything out. Then you're only going to put back in what you're going to keep. So we're taking everything out. We are cleaning. This cabinet is right below our silverware drawers and like cutting boards and stuff. And it is a cabinet or a countertop where people or kids, little kids, make drinks. And as you'll see, the bottom of one of the cabinets there had some, it looks like cranberry grape juice or maybe even soda, I'm not sure, but even though that cover was there, it had kind of stuck down to the cover. So this little foamy cover I put down when we moved into this house, and it needs to be cleaned off too, front and back, and it was just easiest to do it right there on top of the clean counter, or on top of the clean cabinet space there. And then I wiped the cabinet down again, but I did not want to put those things back in there with that dirty. I wanted to make sure that it was clean, and I am using, sometimes I clean with vinegar and water and a little bit of essential oil. This time, for quite a few months now, I have been cleaning with thieves cleaner. So I don't know if you're familiar with that or not. I love the way that it smells. Okay, so now you're only putting back in what you're keeping, and you're gonna see me in this video move stuff around. I'll think that I've got it where I want it. I think that I have it right, and then I move everything around and switch it up. Totally normal. This is just part of the process.
Happened to us, 'cause
So I'm trying all kinds of different options for, you know, how can I fit, if I have all these casserole dishes but they don't, there's still some space in the back. Or if I push them to the back, there's space in the front. So how do I maximize this space? And what I ended up doing is pulling all of the casserole dishes forward, and then along the back that left enough room for me to turn the like bread pans and stuff. I have a bunch of bread pans. I make meatloaf in them, and then I make bread sometimes, but not a lot. But see, I was able to turn those all horizontally, and they all fit just perfect. So there's that. And then once I'm done with each area, I like to vacuum, because stuff comes out, falls, you know, you've got crumbs and whatnot. And this did take me the course of a couple of days, multiple days this week of working on it. And so yeah, I wanted to make sure that I could kind of clean and tidy the rest of the space as I went along. All right. Are you judging me yet? This is my main pots and pans cabinet. Well, it is the only pots and pans cabinet. And it is pretty bad. We have, I mean, my mother has bought me some pots and pans. We have some pots and pans that we bought at IKEA when we moved into this house. I've got those really big, tall, like soup pots. Those my mother-in-law gave me. They are from when they owned a pizza place back in the 80s, and they're very heavy-duty commercial quality, and they're old, and they're so great. The problem is I just have too much. And the other issue is this cabinet here. Do you see that upper layer, that thing that's hanging out in the top upper right hand corner? That is like the gas valve. It's capped off, but you can either have gas for your stove or electric for your stove, and we have an electric stove. And so that's kind of in the way of really being able to maximize that upper right corner. But anyway, you're going to see me again. I'm going to move things 100 times and try to figure out what the best way is to do this. But again, we took everything out. We're only putting back in what we're keeping, and there has to be a better way to organize this stuff. There has to be. We'll see if we'll figure it out.
All the memories just lingers on repeat, like it is never gonna stop. I can't help myself from feeling all alone, but you got me good, or you got me good.
So one of the keys here is the things that you're going to use most often need to be easily accessed. Otherwise, you're just going to make a mess again. So the things that you don't use a lot can be more up on a top shelf, out of the way, towards the back. The problem is things still have to fit around them. So you just got to keep working it until you get it right. All right, so this is a few days later. I am getting ready to tackle more cabinets, and Lenny is homeschooling. I made the little kids little mini charcuterie plates so that they could eat those while they were homeschooling. He was reading Charlotte's Web, doing multiple lessons of math. They worked on handwriting practice. They did some worksheets that went along with the spring book. They did some dexterity, hand muscle building stuff with geo boards and rubber bands, making spring designs. And anyway, they were doing that while I was doing this. So we're going to take everything out here. Let's talk about the dupes that are in this cabinet. There are two 9x13 casserole crock pots. I only need to keep one. I have not used both of them simultaneously in a long time. I need to donate one. There are two toasters in here. One's a toaster oven with a bread toaster on top, and then the other is just a traditional toaster for bread toast. So a couple of years ago, we bought our first air fryer. So rewind, when we first moved into this house, I bought the big toaster oven, and once we got the air fryer, we didn't use the big toaster oven as much. So I bought a single toaster to see how much we would use the single toaster opposed to the toaster oven, and it's time to donate the toaster oven. This toaster gets the miles now and not the big toaster oven, because we don't need the oven part since we have the air fryer. So I'm looking to see if there's a way to clean out the crumbs in here. I don't see a tray that can be pulled, but I'm just wiping that stuff down before I put it back into the cabinet. You're going to see me moving things around so that I can figure out what the best way is to organize all of this. So this KitchenAid mixer, I have two of them. This is my OG KitchenAid, and I love it. It was a gift to Lenny, our first Mother's Day that we had children together, and I had wanted it so bad, and he surprised me with it. It was like, seriously, to this day, one of the best gifts he's ever given me. I love every gift, but that one was, I wanted it so badly. And for years, I made our kids birthday cakes down to the icing. I like, that thing has a lot of miles on it. When we moved into this house, my mother-in-law gave me a stainless steel one, and it's beautiful, and it's on the counter, and then that one is just down here until I figure out, it's just a sentimental keep, and yeah, we'll talk about that another time. I want to keep it forever. Anyway, then I also have the 2 Instant Pots, and one is a 6-quart. That is the Pioneer Woman one that has all the flowers on it, and then the other one's an 8-quart. The 8-quart one I use for like the whole meal, 1-pot meals, the main protein, whatever. And then the Pioneer Woman one I use for things like rice or just smaller things that I'm cooking. But honestly, that Pioneer Woman one airs out a lot. Okay, this is the last cabinet that we're going to organize for this video. And we've tackled 8 cabinets in all. I said 6 originally, but it ended up being 8. Yeah, so here we go. We're pulling everything out. This is where the blender is. I had 2 griddles. It's time to get rid of one of those. That burner is not working well. I've replaced it, so it needs to go. This is also where my 9x13 big, actually it's a little bit bigger than a 9x13, but it's my big electric skillet gets stored, but it was in the drain board. It had been used and washed. So I've got to make sure that I make room in here for it, because it's a must-have at my house. But you'll notice lots of little crumbs in this cabinet. So this cabinet gets a lot of attention, or a lot of use, but not cleaning attention, clearly. It gets a lot of use because this is where the waffle makers are. We have 2 waffle makers, 2 big regular size waffle makers. And then we have the smaller dash waffle makers, and we use, like that one right there that's in my hand, we use all of those often. But the thing that gets used even more than all of that is the sandwich maker, that thing right there. Even Jack knows how to make his own sandwiches in that. So you can make like a hot grilled cheese in it, a hot ham and cheese, whatever. Lenny will make them egg sandwiches in it. The thing is, even though you clean it off when you're done, it's like there's still, I don't know, it's like it collects the oils that you use to keep it from sticking. So, you know, it collects it somewhere and it ends up draining off, or we got to make sure that we're wiping it down really, really good once it cools off. And then the waffle makers, I'm telling you, it feels like no matter what, even if you make sure you get all the crumbs out of it before you put it in the counter, crumbs still come from somewhere. I think it's from where spillage might happen, and the spillage dries from it cooking and it's not getting wiped off good. So we need to make sure that that doesn't continue to happen. We need to keep this cabinet tidier than we are. So we're just going to keep wiping all this stuff down. This stuff all needed some good wiping. And the cleaner that I'm using is that Thieves cleaner. It is not harsh at all. Not worried about using it on there at all. And then I'm just using microfiber cloths on this as well. So we'll keep tidying all this up.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder.
All right, so this is a day or two later. We're just checking to make sure we're keeping everything nice and tidy. Everything is staying in its place. Since the organization and cleaning, things that were in the dishwasher have now been added, like my defrosting containers that I use. I still haven't added that 9x13, or my electric skillet, I should say. It's still sitting in the drain board, but that needs to happen. Anyway, so here is how things looked in the end. But also, now we have a nice little collection of things that need to be donated or tossed. Now, that Tupperware bread container that's there, I've had that forever and ever. I need to find the lid. I am keeping that. It just needs to be moved to the cabinet where Tupperware is kept. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to hop over and check out Stephanie at 10 Kids in a Garage. You're going to love what she is cleaning over there. All right. Y'all have a great day.